Welcome to Film and Page. I'm Dominic, and this is another episode of Road to Dune. So we have some news about the upcoming Dune TV series, and there hasn't been any news about this series for the longest time. It's been a long time since I did a video about this series because there's just been nothing. Last time I did a video about it, I think they were announcing like who the writing team was going to be and things like that. But other than that, I haven't heard anything at all. It's been a long time. And my suspicion always was that they didn't really want to go forward with this TV series until they seen what the movie was going to do. I kind of had my suspicion that's what the hang-up was, and then probably, what happened with the pandemic combined with that as well. But, so we got this article that came out a few days ago. Now, I don't know, there's something about this article that feels off, so I'm kind of skeptical about how accurate this source is and if we can really believe what the article is talking about. But I'll point out why that is as I go through the article. So this is from the website Giant Freakin' Robot. Exclusive Dune TV series title and details revealed. When it comes to tentpole franchises, Dune has definitely headed in that direction for Warner Brothers. The first movie was a huge success, crushed it with critics, and Denis Villeneuve was able to create a world that seemed to mostly align with the vision of Frank Herbert's classic novel. And of course, things aren't going to stop there in this world, far from it. The latest Giant Freakin' Robot exclusive from our trusted and proven source has it that there is a Dune TV series on the way, and now we have even more details about how this story will unfold. Our source has it that the Dune TV series will be titled Sisterhood of Dune Mind Killer, previously Dune the Sisterhood, and is going to focus on a very specific part of the story around one of the more interesting groups of characters. This series will be a prequel to the Dune movie and timeline, set years and years before that story. Okay, so this is what kind of is a red flag to me, is that title sounds fake. Sisterhood of Dune Mind Killer. It sounds, and if it's not fake, it sounds stupid to me. That just sounds totally off, and it sounds stupid. Why would you call it that? Dune the Sisterhood, perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that title. Sisterhood of Dune Mind Killer? I don't know. To me, that sounds stupid. So that's why I'm kind of skeptical about this article. It will center on the Bene Gesserit, the group of women in this world who have trained themselves to have nearly superhuman abilities when it comes to mind training, coercion, and almost a genetic memory that's passed down from generation to generation. This series will focus on this group and a faction within the Bene Gesserit that is working on stopping a more sinister force in the universe. While no casting decisions have been made about this Dune TV series, Sisterhood of Dune Mind Killer, there are specific archetypes the studios seem to be looking for with this one. The cast looks like it will be almost exclusively female, with 3 women in their late 20s and 2 who will play an older part of the group. So that kind of makes sense that it's going to be mostly female because it is about the Bene Gesserit. Again, this is very broad at this point, but the story will follow this group within the Bene Gesserit in the aftermath of a massive war in the galaxy that's destroyed much of the structure. Additionally, while the series will have the Bene Gesserit as the primary focus, others in the cast will include an Empress, a brother and sister tandem in their early 20s, someone who fits a space pirate archetype, and then the primary villain. So it sounds like what great war could have went on during this time period has to be the Butlerian Jihad, I would think. It had already been reported that Diane Ademu-John would act as creator and showrunner after working as a writer and producer on Netflix' The Haunting of Bly Manor, as well as HBO's Boardwalk Empire and then the originals before that. It looks like the production on this show is going to ramp up this fall in October and then will continue into early 2023 before it hits HBO Max on streaming. Sisterhood of Dune was a book written by Brian Herbert, Frank Herbert's son, and was published back in 2012. If this new series follows some of the same plot points of that book, and it's likely that it will, the Bene Gesserit will be forming this group following the Butlerian Jihad, which went down about 10,000 years before the events of Dune. The plot involves concepts around technology and the idea that fledgling robotics and artificial intelligence needed to be put to a stop. So that's what is kind of like a red flag to me. I don't know about like the Empress and all that, but that sounds like really fake. Like that's a fake title. I can't believe that's going to be the real title of this series. And if it is, it sounds really dumb to me. That's my honest opinion about it. And just stick with the original title or whatever the working title was. Sounds way better. Dune: The Sisterhood. Instead of The Sisterhood of Dune Mind Killer. That sounds so lame. And it sounds like if it takes place after the Butlerian Jihad, it'll be like the early stages of the Bene Gesserit, just not too shortly after the Order's been formed, and we're still dealing with the aftermath of that war. There might even be like lingering skirmishes going on, like they're still going around trying to, get rid of the last remnants of artificial intelligences, and there's probably still some resistance to it. Maybe, who knows what they're going to do. But as for the primary enemy, who that would be, I don't know. I have no idea what the primary enemy would be around that time period. Well, if you have all these other houses that are formed, I mean, they would be warring against each other. There's always some kind of like intrigue going on just with the houses themselves as well. So interesting, but that's why I'm kind of taking what I'm reading in this article with a grain of salt. What their inside or source is saying. Hopefully, we get something actual, exclusive, or some kind of actual official news about this series soon, instead of something that hasn't been leaked by someone's source. That we don't know anything about their source, how accurate they are. I don't know what their accuracy is like in the past and stuff like that. But I don't know. I kind of hope they're wrong about this, because that title sounds really dumb. Now, as for the Brian Herbert, Kevin G. Anderson books, The Sisterhood of Dune, what kind of plot points is going to take from that book, I have no idea. I haven't read the Great Schools trilogy that follow the 3 Great Schools of Dune. I haven't read those books. I kind of stopped with the Brian Herbert, Kevin G. Anderson stuff. I read, the 3 House books way back, and then the Machine Crusade books, the 3 books that dealt with the Butlerian Jihad. Read those, and then Hunters of Dune and Sandworms of Dune. And then that's where I stopped. I didn't go any further with any more books. And I know so I'm kind of behind on their books. I know there are more. But after I read all those books by those guys, at that point, I kind of got burned out on their stuff when it comes to Dune. Not the original stuff, but their stuff for sure. I got burned out on it. And then I just needed to get into some other sci-fi series. And that's when I discovered The Expanse. And that was probably around like 2011, 2012 that I first heard of the Expanse book series and read Leviathan's Wake. But I am really curious to see what this series is going to be like, how it's going to shape up, who's going to be cast in it, and hopefully we get more news, and hopefully it's a decent series. It's a solid science fiction series, and it's something else that we can look forward to with this series. And I hope they don't go all crazy with it, like just spinning off all these series, kind of like what they're doing with Star Trek. Like there's like so many different Star Trek series now that like the quality's all over the place. Just stick with this, concentrate just on this one show and make one show really good instead of having a bunch of mediocre shows. So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you at the next one. I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you all in helping this channel grow. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded.